arrested once, 5 August 1962. Was in 4 prisons. The first prison, Johannesburg, 9 months. It's called the Old Fort. Robben Island is the second prison, 18 years. The third prison is in Cape Town, in a suburb called Tokai, Portsmouth Prison, 7 years there. And the last prison, French Hook, it was in the old days called Victor Vessel. It's now called Groot Drakenstein. Mandela was kept in a cottage house within the prison grounds there for 18 months. And it's that prison, 11 February 1990, he gets released to his freedom. Now, these 4 prisons and all these years I mentioned give you a total of 27 years, 3 months, 2 weeks. This is the thing, folks. It's not one trial. It's 2 trials. Because Mandela was in court twice. The first one, he was charged with alone, with leaving the country without valid documents, and also inciting people to strike. He was arrested in Howick in Natal and brought to Johannesburg to stand trial in the local magistrate court. He was his own lawyer because at that time he was already a lawyer by profession and training and practice. He had a law firm called Mandela Tambo Attorneys at Law. So he lost the case. And on the 7th of November 62, after being found guilty, he was sentenced 5 years for each count but to run concurrent. So he had a 5-year effective sentence. So why did he stay there 9 months instead of the whole 5 years? He was not released for good behavior. He was simply transferred to Pretoria because on the 23rd of July 1963, a farm called Lilisley Farm in Rivonia, Johannesburg, was raided by security police. They arrest a number of men. They seize documents, weapons, and explosives because their farm was used by a banned military armed wing to commit and plot acts of sabotage. Mandela wrote the documents and he became a primary suspect and eventually accused number 1. The trial will then be known commonly or referred to commonly as the Rivonia trial, and they are charged with high treason. And these men are put on trial in the Palace of Justice and they are all found guilty, all 8 of them, 1 white. Then sentenced to life in prison on the 12th of June 1964. Mandela and these others are put on a military plane and flown to Easterplaat in Cape Town, then flown to Robben Island. That's how Mandela arrived here and becomes prisoner 466/64. So, 4 prisons, 2 trials, 1 arrest, 27 years, 3 months and 2 weeks. And for the 18 years, this is the building where he served time in his own cell. Mandela was 194 centimeters tall, and it was not easy, folks, with all the furniture inside, to maneuver around in a very tiny cell. Never complained, of course. Mandela was always concerned about the welfare of others. Was always asking others, are they doing good? Is everything okay? Is everything okay at home? How's the family doing? Whereas he was still a prisoner himself, who must worry about his own circumstance. Mandela was selfless to the core. He was indeed the right person to be entrusted to be the embodiment of our values, our principles and ideals. And he executed that task flawlessly. Nelson Mandela was the first one to realize that we needed officers to our side, to treat them with respect so that they can show the same back to you. And that's exactly what happened here. Mandela's documents will be smuggled out of this prison with the assistance of a prison officer by the name of James Gregory. It is those documents that today we call Long Walk to Freedom, because he referenced from there to write his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom. And the documents were buried in the garden right at the corner there on the other side of the great tree. This is where he played tennis, did the shadow boxing, and